All right, so here we go. Okay. Nick Azizian's here. Jackie. Benny Eisner.
Here.
Seeley.
Here.
Alley Girl.
Here.
Leona, Kevin, Steven are not here. Isis.
Here.
Ashton. Ashton. Tardy again. Kennedy.
Here.
Armand.
Here.
Oaks.
Here.
Leo.
Here.
And Terry. Okay, if you go onto Portal, your quiz is now activated. Please go on and take it. It's 5 minutes. So by 12:31, you should be done. Good luck. Ashton, stop being late to class. Your quiz is online. By the way, when you are done, please open Eclipse immediately, but only when you are done. All right, give me 1 second. I'm already almost done grading a lot of them. You guys crushed this quiz. Great job. Very proud of you guys, at least so far. Armon.
Yeah, I know.
You missed easy points. Isis.
Mr. Marty, you said to make a project with 2 new classes.
Did I? I just said have Eclipse open. Pull up your bank account class from yesterday.
Hey, Mr. Marty.
Yes.
Last night I took the L, but
It seems today you bounced back. Proud of you. Good job. Isis.
Am I in trouble?
No, I'm just saying great job. Nice bounce back.
Oh, thank you.
I am capable of giving a compliment every now and then. Who's this one? Vasily, you're going to kick yourself.
I already know what I did.
What'd you do?
The string X in the parameter.
Huh?
Is that not what I did?
I'm not going to, well, I didn't mark you off on that because technically you can have 2 parameters, but I'm not going to mark you off on that one. I'm being nice. You lost a point. You have no class.
Oh, okay.
You literally got a point for just writing public class.
Wait, I wrote public class.
No, you didn't. You put public quiz. You didn't write the class signature. And last but not least, one last one. And that is Ashton. Oh, this ought to be fun.
I already know what I did. I didn't look at the time and I changed it and I knew I did something wrong and then I deleted it and then I didn't have time to change it.
That's what I did.
What did you do wrong, Ashton?
I put X to null in it and in the body, right? Which was right. And I deleted it and then put it up there for some reason because I thought I needed parameter too. And I was about to delete it and put it back, but I ran out of time.
All right, quizzes are great. Well, the good thing is at least you didn't do what Armon did. Armon set X to NU, which apparently his way of setting it to null. So
The time ran out, and
okay, so I just want to give you guys, I'm going to stop recording for the internationals for Zoom group. Okay, so we're back. We have our bank account classes open. So again, as I was saying, you can backwards construct this because you know what the class name is. You know that it's got at least 2 global variables and you know it's got a constructor. So you know you could do name and balance. And then you know that you could do your constructor, which takes 2 parameters and then construct the global variables. Again, what is the purpose of a constructor?
initialize global variables.
Initialize global variables. Very good. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do is we're going to work now with methods. It is time to work on methods. And methods are basically sub-programs. Okay. They're basically a mini code that does something that we can call on. So let's think of a simple procedure that you can do at a bank. What's something that you can do at a bank, Allie?
Deposit money.
Bingo. So we'll go with deposit, all right? So let's talk about the signature first of a method. So the first thing I want to do is I want to say public, okay? I'm going to say public. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add what we call a return type. Okay. Public double. Double basically, now this can be double, it could be int, it could be string. If I had a different type of class, I can make it that type of class. Basically what a return type is it is what is going to be spit back to the this tester class as soon as this method is done running. So if you guys remember, we had the absolute value and it was public double abs. Okay, what that meant is after we were done running that program, it spat back a double. So methods have return types. Okay, then after we say double, we're going to say deposit. Now, Leo, deposit, do you think this method is going to need a parameter, yes or no?
No.
So we're going to run the deposit, not put anything into our account?
Wow.
Okay. So right now, let's just say, yes, we are going to need one. So I'll say double X, okay? And I'm going to open my curly braces. Now you'll notice right off the bat, there is an error. We'll get to that in a second. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to say balance plus equals X, okay? Because basically what we're doing is we're going to run this method here. We're going to put in an amount that we want to balance, or that we want to initially have our balance with. We then call on the deposit method and we're going to send an amount of money. That money is going to be added to our current balance. And then we are going to return balance. Okay, oops. Now, are there any errors now? No. What type of variable is balance? It is a double. Does this match our return type? Yes, it does. So everything is okay. If I wanted to be super efficient, I could do balance plus equals X. That will do the same thing. Okay. Now let's talk about return. Okay. The biggest confusion that people get is that they think that balance is a print statement. It is not a print statement, okay? It is actually sending back usable data. Print statement's not usable data. It's literally just a literal. It's just a statement of the console. Nothing really going on there, but the actual return itself is actually spitting back data. So for right now, I'm just going to get rid of these, asking these questions. You guys have an idea, and I'm just going to put a generic statement or a generic literal John and a balance of, let's say, $100. So this account, when he created this account, his name was John and he had a balance of $100. Okay. So if I say A1.deposit and I say $100, okay, take a look what happens. I run this. Do I have any errors? No. Technically what has happened is that this 100 got sent to here. Then we use X and we added it to the balance. So if I was actually going to print out what the balance was after running this, it would be $200. Okay, because everything is contained in A1 for right now. We're only dealing with one account. Okay, now in terms of return, I could do this. Return is actually spitting back the number that is in balance. But if we don't do anything with it, like here, okay, for example, let's say if I asked you guys, what prints out? Let's say I put this on a quiz. What is the printout of this? Nothing. You have to do something with that data. And the two most common things are this. One, run the method in a print statement. It'll still run, but you're actually going to print out the returned data. So we can do that. Or option B, this spits back a double. So if I said double new AMT equals and I did that, and then I printed out new AMT, either way works. You always want to do something with the data. Now, again, as I told you, you are not going to be dealing with this. You're going to be dealing with this because theoretically, these methods should work for any number that is in here. On the AP, you're going to get this, the line that I'm highlighting. They will give you the parameter. They'll tell you what the parameter represents. They will tell you the return type. You will need to fill this in. Pray to God or whatever anybody believes in, sorry. Pray to whoever that they ask you to write a class. Because how many of you thought my quiz was rather easy? I'm not joking when I say if you the first words you read in one of your AP FRQs is write a class, just thank the heavens, thank upstairs, because it is literally going to be the easiest 9 points that you can get. It will be almost as easy as that question because all they're looking for is do you know how to do the global methods, do you know how to do a constructor, and do you know how to write 1 or 2 methods? It will be the easiest 9 points that you can get. So pray, because last year there wasn't one. And so they do it every other year. So if you get one this year, it's an easy 9 points. Okay, so just pray because those questions are so easy. All right. So again, the return. So the other thing is whenever I'm asking you a question, whether it be on an exam or something like that, we will actually say the word return. Okay, but there is another type of return type, void. Void means that you cannot use a return statement. Most of the time, what people will do is they will just do a print statement, print out balance minus equals X. This still runs. It still works. Now, the only problem is I can't store a print statement in a double. Okay, so for example, if I actually just call on this method now, as is, because this method has a print statement in it. Oh, sorry, it's plus equals. Because it actually has a print statement in it, the method is actually going to print something out. Okay. Now at the same time, okay, so again, key thing, just sorry, I'm going a little too fast. When you see void, no returns. Pay attention to the question. It will say, does not return anything. If it does not return anything, you know right off the bat it's void. Okay, doesn't return anything, but will print something out. Boom, that is what that does. Void, no return. But let's go back to double. Okay, now notice that I have a print statement in here. Okay, this is still legal if I do this. You can have a print statement, but the last thing that should be run in a method should be a return if there is a return type. So this has a double. The last thing that should run is a return type. So I can still print this, but theoretically what is happening is the print statement is running, but also there's something else printing out, or the balance is still also being spit back. You won't ever see anything this way because most of the time you're going to want to do something with this data. You've kind of limited yourself. You can't put this in a print statement. You can't store it in a variable. So more often than not, you won't see this. Okay. So the next thing I want you to do right now is this, and I want you to think. Okay. So if I can deposit, Alley Girl, what is another thing that we can do at a bank? If I can deposit, what else am I also capable of doing?
Withdrawing.
Withdrawing. Take 2 minutes and I want you guys to write the withdraw method logically. Hey Siri, set timer for 2 minutes.
Okay, Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자. 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자. 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자. 그런 반전 있는 여자.
Oh, the timer went off. Shucks. Oh man. I know you guys wanted to listen to that party song again. So, all right, so let's go back. Oops, here we go. Public double withdraw. Now, if I ever put this on a question, if I ever put this on an FRQ, guys, you really want to catch me on these things, okay? And I mean it. If I don't say the word return, you can use a void, and you're technically right. More often than not, I will try when I'm writing my questions to actually say it returns this, right? The method that will return. But if I don't, it's fair game to use a void, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, public double withdraw, I'm gonna say double X again, okay? Note this X has no idea that this X exists, okay? So public double withdraw. So it's basically when I run this method here, it's the amount I want to withdraw. So the first thing I'm going to do is this. If X is greater than balance, I want to check to make sure that I have enough to cover this, okay? Now, if X is greater than balance, they're not allowed to return. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return balance. I'm just going to say, nope, sorry, that's it. You're just going to get your balance. Now, there's two ways that we can do this. How many of you knew to check to see if it was greater than balance? Raise your hand. How many of you forgot? Be honest. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so, all right, so you can put your hand out, Vasily, it's okay. So, all right, so you always want to, and what did I say? Think logically. You want to make sure that you're not overdrawing, okay? So you have, if X is greater than balance, return balance. Notice that there's still an error. The reason why there's an error is because Eclipse kind of helps you with this, but logically, if my amount that I'm withdrawing isn't greater than balance, I should still be able to do something, which means this if statement won't run. So I can either do an else, and I can say, there's like three ways. I can say else, balance, minus equals X, return balance. Okay, so I can do it this way. Why? I'm having trouble, my C key isn't working. How many of you did it this way? How many of you did it this way? And how many of you did it this way? This is the most efficient way. Do I need an else? No. Okay, this is what we would call a default return statement. I don't need an else. If this if statement runs and checks or whatever, this return will run. Otherwise, go ahead and just balance minus equals X and I can return it. This is the most efficient way. Okay. Does the else work? Yes. Would you get credit on the AP? Yes. Would you get credit if you did all three lines? Yes. But again, we're going for efficiency. Okay, you would still get points, but this is the most efficient way to do it. Okay. Now, one of the things I want you to take a look at, so let's test this real quick, by the way. So let's do, so they deposited 100. So at this point, what is their account equal to?
200.
200, okay. So now, right now, so let's do this. We're just gonna run it here. So A1.withdraw, and I'm gonna say 109, okay. So if this is the case, I withdraw 109, okay. What? A1.withdraw 109. Okay, that should be right. 100, 100, why is it going? A1.withdraw. X is greater than balance. Return balance. Anyone not deposit 100? Oh, there we go. Forgot to make that modification. Okay. Right, $91. There we go. Okay, so we have $91. Let's say I did 209. At this point, this would just spit back $200 because I've exceeded the balance, therefore can't do it. Okay. Now, what is important? Okay, what is important? Take a look at your constructor. This is a common mistake. Okay. ISIS. What does the constructor not have?
Wait, like this
What does the
constructor?
constructor's signature not have? Benny, help her out.
A return type?
A return type. Do you see a double or a void or anything or a string or an int up here? Do you see any of that? Okay, a lot of times people will do this by accident, double, or they'll add a return type, okay, or a string or something like that. They'll probably do something like that. They will accidentally put a return type there. This is considered a major error because it shows you don't know the difference between a constructor and a method. This is considered what we call a major penalty. If you do a return type ever, and I'm telling you right now, I grade it like the AP. If you give me a return type, so let's say for example, like what Vasily did or somebody did, I can't remember who it was, on the quiz, they gave me just an extra constructor, or they gave me an extra parameter, but they didn't use it. Constructor is still gonna run fine. You don't have to do anything with it, okay? But, so that didn't bother the code. But the minute that he would have done this or something like that, major error. He would have gotten, like I think I gave him partial credit, he would have gotten 0 credit, okay? That is a 0 credit error. Understood? Okay. So constructors do not have return types. If we have a return type, we must use the word return. The method must end using the word return. What is the only return type that does not require the use of return?
Void.
Void. Okay. Now again, guys, we still have so much to cover when it comes to methods and constructors and things like that. We haven't even gone over inheritance and stuff like that. And there's a possibility I might move your test to the week after next. We have the guest speaker coming in from Amazon on the 29th, okay, during this block. So he's going to speak to us, but for at least for right now, I think I'm going to move it because we have a lot to cover. Now, as you can see, have you guys learned any new code? Other than this, the keyword this, have you learned anything new? Now what we're doing is we're learning structure, okay? You need to understand the proper structure and guidance of things, okay? This is your constructors. These are your methods. Methods will have return types. I will throw a bunch of these out after you and like for example, I may put a default constructor in here just to screw with you and ask how many constructors are there? And I may even put it down here. Read everything. Yes, I see you, Kennedy. Yes, I'm that type of teacher. I'm going to go after you, okay? So I know it pisses you off, probably pisses Nick off even more. So okay, but I just need you guys to, again, I could care less about the test. You guys need to be good programmers, okay? So that's where we're going to end off right now. Your homework assignment, and I'm going to put it online right now, is going to be the chapter 15, the bank account, okay? Project bank account, okay? It's not that long. If you guys have any, also giving you a heads up, it looks like Thursday at about 6 o'clock, I'm going to do another, we have class tomorrow. We're going to cover even more objects and more stuff, okay? But Thursday, probably like from 6 to 7:30, I'm going to do a review session online to really go over things, okay? To kind of like maybe let's just grasp that might be one of the few review sessions where I reteach everything. Okay. So if you don't have a sharp understanding of it, not bad. For the most part, guys, at least in this class, in the other class, I had some people that just didn't get it. Okay. But in this class, for the most part, knucklehead mistakes. Okay. Armand creating his own coding style, Vasily giving me crap I didn't ask for. Okay. Little stuff. You guys this class is great. I'm not worried about you guys. Okay. But don't be lazy. Still keep putting in the effort. Okay. So project bank account, chapter 15, have it due tomorrow before class. Okay. Sound fair?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions before we leave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday you told us that we didn't need to do those 10 questions or whatever, the events. Is that true still? So I just do
That
it
was
tonight?
like the 15th. That wasn't yesterday, was it?
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. I postponed it by a day, I think. You should be able to have enough information to do those now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I wouldn't get late for it.
Yeah, you're not going to get late. Don't worry. Yes, Benny.
So are all constructors methods, but not all methods are constructors?
Very good way to look at it. Great way to look at it. Yes, all constructors are methods, but not all methods are constructors. It's a great way to put it. Yes, Ali.
Do signatures include what's in the parameter?
Yes, they do. So I'm gonna share the screen real quick. So what I'm highlighting, Ali, would be considered the entire signature. For example, the signature of the constructor would be this. The signature of the method would just be this. Now, again, on the AP, you will be given this. Technically, you can literally start your free response by just opening bracket right next to it and writing your code. Literally, you can do that. Okay?
Mr. Marty?
Yes.
In the book, it said that like public or private is not necessarily considered like part of the
I don't even want you, it is part of the discussion. That is incorrect. But don't worry, anything with private, don't touch. I explain public and private better than anyone. Okay? I've seen teachers teach public and private. They're dog shit at it. Okay? Let me just wait until I teach it to you guys and you guys will have a solid understanding of it. Okay? But public, private, ignore it. If there is a question that I overlooked that has private on it, you let me know. Okay? Or just put this is a private question. You told us not to do it. Just write that in the response and just avoid. Okay? Because the book does not do the best. It's decent, not great, but when I'm done with you, you will have absolutely 100% understanding of private versus public. Okay. All right, Kennedy. Yeah.
What allows you to not have to use void with your constructor?
What do you mean?
Because if normally like constructors don't have void or return type,
Yes.
and it doesn't return anything. So wouldn't it, if it's a method,
So,
why don't?
Kennedy, so it's a specialized type of method, and what's its only role? What is the role of a constructor, Kennedy? What is
It
the
uses the
only thing we
same-
use it to do?
Initialize.
Initialize global variables. So that is the only thing that it does. It is a special type of method that you are calling upon when you finish the constructor. Basically, because you got to look at it this way. The constructor here, the signature for the constructor is the same thing as this, just switch new for public. It's the same thing. The constructor is the rules for how you are going to create the object. That is why it is special. Okay, could I do this? A lot of people do this. This out. So you can actually put a print statement. I see a lot of coders do this. Account created. Okay, and they, boom, account created. So you know that it's created. So a lot of people do that. That's fine to do it. Whatever. There's a method called toString. We'll get into that later. But this isn't, ignore all of that, okay? So don't worry about that. It's just like Benny said, a method, all constructors are methods, but not all methods are constructors. Methods are like a constructor is a special type of method, no return type whatsoever. Public and the name of the class verbatim. Anybody else? Okay. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to wait till this thing gets done. Good class today, guys. Again, read your book. Any questions, please feel free to email me or whatever, or just have them ready for the next class. You will have another quiz tomorrow. I will tell you right now, the quiz is basically you guys are going to create your own method. So when I say create your own method, you can 100% guarantee that being able to write the signature is a big part of it. Okay. All right. Take care, guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.